The purpose of this screencast is to give you a brief orientation to the online Haiku gradebook. So to log in, you go to www.myhaikuclass.com and then put in your username and your password. And I'm going to use a fictional student here so we can take a look at some grades but not have it be anybody actually in the class. Click sign in. And then it'll take you to this home page. You really don't need to do anything on this home page, although it will list your recent grades. But I would recommend really just looking into the gradebook. To get to the gradebook, you're going to click over here on the left where it says Physics 2016-17. That's the class. And you'll see now that there are 3 tabs. You do not need to do anything under the Messages tab or the Activities tab, but I'm just going to show you what's there. Under the Messages tab, you'll find a listing of all of the assignments. So this is called a Dropbox. There will be a place to hand things in. You do not need to hand anything in Haiku. So ignore this tab. And same thing with the Activities tab. This is a list of all the assignments. Once again, you don't need to do anything with the Dropbox. I would recommend going on to the 3rd tab, which is where the gradebook is. Now in the gradebook, you'll notice there are 2 main sections. There is the bar chart, and there is a list over here on the right, a column. The bar chart has the standards going across the bottom. So exploration was our first standard, experiment design was the second, and so on. The height of each bar shows you your most recent score for that standard. So Caleb's most recent score for the exploration is a 4.5. But suppose you wanted to, oh, and also you can scroll to the right. There's more to the bar chart than, whoops, than is immediately obvious. If you want to know what your history is of scores on a certain standard, then just click on that bar. And in the right column now, it will show all of the times that that standard was scored. So the first time it was scored was quiz 1 and Caleb had a 3.5, and the next time it was scored was quiz 3 and Caleb got a 4.5. So you can see that it's the most recent score, not the average of these, that ultimately counts. And just a note about these assignment numbers, the number in the very front, like the 1 here and the 4 here, those just correspond to the order in which the scored events happened in the class. So the 4th thing that I scored was quiz 3. Okay? To go back to the bar chart, you can click on this dark background and it'll take you back. And just a word about the color coding. Anything that would be in the A range, 90% and above, is green. Anything in the B range, 80% and above, is yellow. And anything lower than that is red. So at a glance, you can see what the things are that you need to put a little more attention into studying. Let's take a look at one more, for example. Let's look at DP4, Standard 4. Caleb's current grade is 3.5, but let's see how he's been doing. Well, on quiz 2, he had a proficient, and on quiz 4, proficient plus, but then quiz 6 was quite a bit lower. And you'll notice that his current grade now is this most recent score. The only other place you might want to go in Haiku, so that kind of wraps up the gradebook. Oh, one more thing I should say. It will give you an overall grade. If you divide that by 5, that basically gives you your overall percentage right now for the standards. This does not include the homework, and then it does not obviously include the final exam. But if you take your overall grade and divide by 5, that will give you a percentage that will give you an idea of what your current overall grade is. So the last place to look is up here in the upper right corner. We have My Information, My Profile, and Notifications. These allow you to change your email address. And the notifications one, you can receive notifications from Haiku. You can decide what email you want to have those sent to. And then here, there's all kinds of things. I would uncheck all of these, except for maybe the only one you might want is to be notified when one of your grades is published. From here, to go back to the gradebook, click on My Classes, and that will take you back. And remember that the gradebook is right here under this tab. Let me know if you have any questions, and that is our orientation.